Hi Mastermind video freaks. This is my video that I wanted to share with you about my visibility fears and some of the realizations that I've come to over the last week regarding my own personal fears and how deep-rooted they are. Just to put you a little bit in the picture with me and my situation at the moment, because you may not have seen me, I've been a little bit off the scale. I've been really sick for the last week. Came down with a really terrible fever on Saturday. And was completely incapacitated by it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Just about got myself up and kind of looking to start working again on Wednesday. Fortunately feeling a lot better today, and so cracking on. But this week has always been a big week for me. With my husband being away, it meant that I had to cover his workload as well as my own, and I work 2 jobs myself already, as well as looking after my 3 children. So this week there was quite a lot of pressure on me, and it suddenly dawned on me, actually watching the Marissa Peer video that Michelle put a link on for, you know, the one where she's at Awesomeness Fest. I hope you've all watched it by now, and I wondered, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, because I found it hugely enlightening and it struck such a chord with me, but I'll get to that later. At the moment I wanted to say to you that I didn't realise how many visibility fears I had. I'm quite a confident person. I'm usually quite outgoing. I teach yoga, so every day I get in front of a big group of people and I kind of put myself out there and give them my all. And I'm very much an intuitive teacher, and I really like to connect with my class quite spiritually and intuitively, and I enjoy doing that, and I get a great response from that. So my idea to be in this mastermind class was really so that I could put myself out there for a move back to the UK that we've got planned next year. I currently live in Thailand. Anyway, on Saturday, after I'd been to the hospital with my son, I came down with like an amazingly high fever. It was like 104, and it wiped me out. I was having like hallucinogens and stuff like that, like weird stuff going on my mind. My mind was taking me to some really strange places. I'm quite an upbeat person usually, but I didn't eat for 4 days and I only drank water. I was sweating and sweating and sweating. I don't like to take pharmaceutical drugs, and I even, went down to the thought of actually taking paracetamol, which for me is a big thing. And it wasn't until I was feeling a little bit better on the Wednesday that I went back onto Facebook and actually came back into the group and looked at that link that Michelle put about Marissa Peer. I kind of was like, I've heard about this lady before, felt inspired previously from conversations that I'd had with Michelle. And so I decided to independently YouTube her and just see what Marissa Peer is all about. I watched a number of videos, and one of them was when she was at Awesomeness Fest. And it's a 43-minute long video, but I tell you, within the first 10 minutes, it had struck so many chords with me. And it was like she was telling me my truth and telling me exactly what I needed to do and why I was feeling ill and everything. It just resonated so perfectly with me at this time and in this moment when I was feeling very much alone, because my husband's not here, he's away on holiday. One of my children was sick at the same time. My 2 other children are 4 and 6, so it was a lot of pressure on me, plus trying to keep up with the management of the villas that we run here, and my commitments to work in the UK and here as well. I was feeling a lot of pressure. Anyway, it got to the point where she was talking about I am enough. I am enough. And I'm saying it every day now. This is how much it's changed me. I was listening to her and she was sort of talking about the way that, when we don't feel that we're enough going into something, we self-sabotage. And something happened inside me. Something up here went ting, something in my stomach went ting, and I threw up, literally, physically threw up everything that I had in my stomach, which was water at this stage. And I felt immediately better. I felt like I'd almost purged myself, as it were. I felt like she had told me what I'd been doing. She had called me out on exactly what had been going on in my mind, subconsciously, clearly, because I was actually looking forward to this week. For a number of reasons. I had a yoga class booked that I was really looking forward to. You know, my group's gotten bigger this week. Because of the visibility from my last video, people are joining my class, which is great. But I think deep down, even that had put pressure on me, and I felt like I really couldn't cope with it. And I wonder whether or not this whole sickness thing, this fever, this high fever, something I haven't experienced since being a child, was a way of debilitating me and saying, no, you don't have to deal with it. Don't worry about it. You're out. You are out for the count. You can't even do the kids. You know, you are that bad. You are on your own. You know, it is time to ask for help. There were so many factors that were coming in for me. And in the end, it was writing on my mirror, I am enough, and saying to myself every day, I am enough. I am totally enough. I'm absolutely enough. I'm so enough that I'm too enough. That seems to have made this huge difference in me. Like, I got better, like it turned around in hours. You know, by the end of the day on Wednesday, yesterday, I was eating properly. My fever had gone completely. I started to talk to my son extensively about, you know, some of the things that he was worried about in going back to school. And it turns out, you know, he had some issues that he hadn't been honest with me about. He hadn't want to worry me because I'm on my own with my dad. And he, on my own with the kids, without dad around, And once we got that out, he said, you know, he felt a little bit better as well. And we both went back to sleep. We woke up and we've both been fine. And I can't even fathom to believe it. Like, I know it sounds crazy. And, you know, and yet I'm listening to Marissa and I'm kind of thinking, yeah, well, it all makes sense. God, these poor girls who are bulimic, you know, they don't feel enough, blah, 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 blah. And there I am in my own mind, self-sabotaging all day long, because it's a lot for me. It's a lot for me to think that after 10 years of not being out there, you know, my son's 10 years old and I stopped working on his due date, literally. Fortunately, he didn't come then. He came 12 days later. But I haven't worked, per se, in the public sector since, apart from doing my yoga classes, which I started a couple of years ago, and which yoga's been always a part of my life. So it's really something that's so natural to me and something that's so natural for me to give, that I know I'm on the right path there. But the other stuff that I want to add, you know, the life coaching stuff, the ability to try to take people into my retreat and get them to reconnect with themselves so that they can really experience life again. This is something that comes wholeheartedly from here and from here. And I'm really, really scared and nervous to put it out there. And yet I know that when I do, it's going to be great. So this is why I wanted to share this with you, because I'm kind of like, where is this taking me? This journey is mental. Like, since I started on this journey, I feel like I've grown so much. But this visibility fear, this thing is just kind of something that I obviously hadn't even considered. I hadn't even brought into my conscious, let alone, you know, like actually being able to sort of think about it as a part of my business structure, as we're doing with this mastermind class. This video is probably well off of topic from anybody and everything that you've been doing. I haven't even looked at the computer for the whole time that I was sick. I barely got out of bed. I was properly debilitated. And again, as a strong woman who kind of prides herself in being able to just crack on, that was a real big thing for me to face as well. The fact that I just couldn't do anything and that I had to ask for help, something I'm not very good at. So I'd be really, really interested to hear back from you guys as to what you are finding about listening to this Marissa Peer, because obviously Michelle's then put on a link that says that she's doing this consultancy course thing, you know, teaching her methods, her structure in the UK. And as I say, I'm based in Thailand, so the likelihood of me getting over there October, November time, unfortunately, is slim to none. However, I just thought, well, I touch base, I put it all down on video for you guys so that you can connect with me a little bit as well. I haven't been out there. I intend to be. I'm going to be putting a video pledge on next. I was scurryingly writing that down last night at about 10:30 before I went to sleep. But any thoughts and comments that you've got on my experience, and, you know, anything that you've got to add to my experience, you know, I'm listening with open ears. I'm really grateful for this group. I'm really grateful for this challenge, Michelle. Like, you have opened my heart, my mind so much. And just quickly as well, guys, I just wanted to let you know that of all the friends that I've got here in Krabi, actually the only person who ever said, can I come and help you? Let me come and look after the kids while you're sick, was Michelle. And she lives like thousands of kilometres away on the other side of Thailand in Koh Samui. So I think that really shows something about our mentor here as well, guys. You know, she's not just in it for cash, for recognition, for her own personal goals. She's in it because she is a being of love. And hold on 1 minute, darling. And I'm really proud to call her not just mentor, but friend. So thanks, Michelle. Big love. And guys, please comment away. I'm really interested to hear what you've got to say. Big love. Bye.